Wouldn't it be great if opportunity just fell out of the sky right into your lap and said, here I am? Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. Opportunity doesn't come to you, rarely ever. 99.9% of the time, it's not gonna fall in your lap. You really gotta become the person who opportunity is attracted to, who opportunity can't ignore because of the person that you become. And if you want to really become the person that opportunity can't ignore, one of the best ways to do it, it's really not about hustling your ass off or, you know, begging for opportunities and randomly trying to weasel your way in here and there. More so, it's about creating more momentum in your own life, making sure that you increase your visibility. So that's number 2. And then the third thing is you want to make sure that your value is so high that they can't ignore you. It's almost like Cal Newport when he said, become so good they can't ignore you. It's similar to that, the same thing. So really, how do we do this? The first thing that I'll touch on is I'll say increasing your visibility as a human being in this world. You want to spread your wings. You want to make sure you're known. You want to get out there. You want to do things. Because opportunity is not going to find you if you're hidden. That's why it's so important to publish things. Publish your work. Post your artwork. Connect with people. Share everything. Show up. Just show up every day. Imperfect action is better than invisible perfection. Perfection that nobody ever sees. Perfection that you think you're gonna craft and craft and craft until it becomes perfect is an illusion. It's not gonna happen like that, man. You really do get better when you put yourself out there in the public. You just put yourself out. You have real world feedback. And with the real world feedback, it's easy to make pivots and improvements on what it is that you're trying to do. And you see me, I'm stuttering. You know what I'm saying? I'm just fucking letting it out, dude. Just let it out. Nothing is ever gonna be perfect anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can try to make things perfect until you're blue in the face and you'll still find something that's not perfect about it. And number 2 is elevating your own value as a person. Become valuable in the marketplace. Become valuable in just your community altogether. Make yourself useful. Make yourself impactful. Make yourself undeniable. Look, when you do the work, it's almost like the movie, If You Build It, They Will Come. What was that? Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. The whole meaning behind the movie was just build. Just keep building. If you build, eventually they will come. You might think the movie's corny. Whether you think it's corny or not doesn't matter, because there's a true moral to the story. That's why the movie was created. That's what I like about movies. I like the moral to the story. He built the field and the baseball players came. All right, so it's a cool movie. When you're building something, you want to keep in mind that you want to solve real world problems. Problems that people are having currently. That is the best thing to work on, because the more people you can help, the more opportunity you're gonna find. The more people are gonna recognize it because you're being helpful to the world. In my opinion, if you're not being helpful and you're just getting attention online, and you're gonna always be chasing that high of validation and attention. It's so much better when you can actually help people, like for real help people. Not just get attention online. Get into the habit of trying to deliver more value than expected. Over deliver as much as you possibly can. Because if you get into the habit of over delivering, then it's easy for you to outperform most people. See, most people can't even deliver at all. So if you can over deliver, you're gonna stand out from the crowd and become a key person of influence. Read the book Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. I just finished that book, and it's an inspiring book. It'll make you want to write your own book. It'll make you want to network and connect with other people. And that's the whole point of this, really, is to become a key person of influence, is to become somebody who can gain more opportunities. Number 3, stay in momentum. When you're in momentum, nothing can really break that. It's going to be so difficult for anything to break that momentum, because you're so on point. And you're so honed in, you're so focused on the craft that you do, that minor disturbances that other people get tripped up by, they don't even affect you. It just glances off you like nothing. You got an armor of protection on you because of the momentum that you carry. And it's like this, man. Every small step forward opens doors that you can't see. Like literally, every small step that you take forward is gonna open a future door that you cannot see. So you should keep knocking on doors. Keep pitching yourself. I use door knocking as an example, as a metaphor for a lot of things, because it is like this. Life is like knocking on doors and prospecting. Keep knocking on doors if you want them to open, but keep stepping. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. And whatever you're thinking about doing, don't wait. Just get started today, because waiting is gonna kill the energy that you have. Energy is a finite resource. It's not something that you have an unlimited amount of. And by waiting, you're slowly killing your energy day by day. When you take action, action is gonna multiply the energy. So every little action that you take, every video you create, every article you write, everything that you publish creates more momentum, and thus it's gonna create more energy. See, when you're in momentum, you don't need as much energy to get started. So when you're getting started, that's the time when it takes the most energy, the most mental drain, the most effort. But once you get going, it's easy. You know, when I record these videos, the first time I recorded a video, I was actually kind of tired after I did it. First couple of times, I'm like, you know, it's a mental workout for me. And, you know, I tried to write a script, I tried to do all kinds of different things. But I said, you know what, I'm just gonna record as many videos as possible. And it's actually much easier when you record video after video and it comes to you. It starts to become more natural to record videos. And you understand the process, you start to think formulaically. You'll start to think how you write. And that's one of the problems that I had, is I would be able to write and get my thoughts out easier, and I would be able to convey my thoughts more methodically when I wrote them down, because I had time to think about what I wanted to say. But if I turned on the camera and I just started recording, I would forget all the stuff that I wanted to say. So that was a challenge that I had to overcome. But your mind starts to adapt to everything that you want to say, so where you don't even have to write it down anymore, you can just talk it and you won't forget it. You don't even really need a script. So the last thing that I want to tell you is, there's an interesting story about a guy named Dietrich Mateschitz, and he's responsible for what we know as Red Bull here in the Western world, and it's actually a global company now because of him. But you know, this guy was on a small business trip in Thailand. He was jet lagged. He was looking for something to get rid of the jet lag and help him get back to work or what have you, right? So he found this drink, and it was called Krating Daeng. Krating Daeng. And it worked like magic for him. And he said to himself, damn, you know what? I gotta find the creator of this drink so we can try to get this baby going global, right? And it took him a while to actually hunt this guy down. But when he found the creator of the drink, he was living in Thailand at the time, and he created the drink, he proposed that there could be a business opportunity there. It was kind of a struggle, but eventually they raised the money. I think each of them put in $500,000 as an investment. Now Red Bull's $1 billion company. So this is in the 90s, the mid 90s, and you see Red Bull on every gas station and every grocery store. It's a worldwide conglomerate now. That was a guy that used his experience that he had being jet lagged in another country, and he saw an opportunity and he struck while the iron was hot. I know it's a corny saying, but that's what he did, right? And then another one, you have Howard Schultz, which he was just working at a department store of some sort when the local bean retailer would come in for these coffee makers, and he noticed them buying a number of coffee makers, so he said, let me stop in. The company's name was Starbucks. It was just a small little local company back then in the 80s, I think, or the 70s. Said, you know what? I want to work for this company. I like coffee. He had a passion for coffee, and he became the retail operations guy, right? And then eventually he was going on vacation to Italy, and in Italy he noticed they had these espresso bars that were really cool, and it had a nice ambiance and it had a nice community and people, you know. So he brought that to the company Starbucks. He pitched on the idea, and actually he got shot down multiple times. They didn't want anything to do with it. They thought it was a silly idea, but he kept persisting, and eventually Starbucks became what we know it to be today. Starbucks is a popular company because of the way it's set up. It's not like Dunkin' Donuts. You go in Dunkin' Donuts, it's here, take your food, get the hell out of here. Starbucks has more of a welcoming environment. It seems you want to sit down, get to work, pull out your laptop, your notebook, and you know, it's a cool little vibe. So that's the difference. When you see something in your mind, and you say, you know what? I'm gonna take this idea that I see in my mind to market, and I'm gonna stay persistent because I see my vision. Nobody else can see it yet, but I can. So I'm gonna continue to pursue. Identify something that you need to work on today. Like, identify whether it's you need to increase your visibility as a human being or as a personal brand, or is it your value that you need to increase? Or maybe it's your momentum. Maybe you need to get moving. Maybe you need to do stuff. And maybe you need to pile on that work and just hunker down and just full force get to it. So identify, just pick one area. Just one area, so that you can focus on that area for the next 7 days. Keep notes, all right? Keep track of what you're doing, and man, who knows what's gonna happen. But at the end of the 7 days, start on another area. So it's visibility, value, and momentum. Check out some of my other videos. I have some playlists, and if this resonated, feel free to subscribe, and we out of here.